Spurs 1, Chelsea 4. Nicholas Jackson gets a hat-trick against Spurs. Mauricio Pochettino returns to White Hart Lane and they call him Daddy. And the reality is, Spurs, your undefeated record's gone. But the people I need to talk to are the people that said, Poch is going to throw this game away. Poch is tactically inept. Poch is absolutely terrible as a manager. He doesn't love us. I don't care if he doesn't love us. If he sets us up and the players give commitment the way they did today, they perform the way they did today, he can stay as long as he wants. And the reality is, Chelsea were in this game way before the red cards, way before the commotion, and at the end, they slightly dropped their standards, and that's going to annoy me, and we're going to break this down. But today, we are going to be positive. We're going to show the world how good Chelsea Football Club can be. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Let's get it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, blood. Okay, guys, quick little request. We beat Spurs today, and I need you lot to do me a massive favor. Hit that like button right now. And another question I'm going to ask you, subscribe. And the question in the comments below that you should answer is, was Nicholas Jackson actually good today? I'm very confused, but now let's get into the good. The good, we're going to start off with positives. And we're not going to just cover the goals. We're going to actually look at the game in good detail, because the reality is, the game was broken into so many different segments that it's actually hard for me to correlate a good painting of a picture and talk about it. But the reality is, this is how we need to break this down. Number one, Nicholas Jackson. He's the only thing on my mind. Number one, Spurs started off way better, but Chelsea showed attitude, character, and resiliency. Spurs could have been ahead in this game from the outset 2-0. Literally, Son scores, I'm like, this is gonna get ugly. And I'm fuming, like literally, I'm like, what the hell is going on? They need to retaliate, they need to react. Because we started off slowly, we conceded a sloppy goal in my opinion, and then we got caught out with a beautiful move from Spurs. Spurs were absolutely bloody amazing, right? The first goal was a deflection, went in, but the team reacted. And how did they react? We had a good long ball to Sterling. Sterling had Porro on toast. Then it hit, deflected up onto Sterling's hand and went in. What I think is a stupid rule is, if Sterling crosses that across the box for Palmer to tap it in, that's not offside. Because, no, that's not handball. Because they would have said it wasn't an intentional handball. His hand was in a natural position. But because it hit him and he scored, they have to rule it out. I get the rule. I think it's a stupid rule. Correctly, VAR, good job. Well done, bravo, brilliant. Then Chelsea score another goal. There's a beautiful attack. Chelsea pressing hard, win the ball quickly into Sterling. Sterling, Van de Ven literally tries to swipe his leg, doesn't get it. Enzo beats Romero to the ball. Romero goes through the ball and straight into Enzo's shin. Once it hits Enzo's shin, it goes to Caicedo, and Caicedo pummels it. Beautiful strike, bottom corner. I'm going mad. I'm like, rule that one out, rule that one out. Little did I know, Nicholas Jackson is in an offside position. I'm a bit vexed. I'm a bit annoyed. But then, I'm like, hold on, that's a pen. And what does the ref do? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to give VAR all the credit. There's a lot of VAR decisions that people are being super critical over. And you know what? I think the cool thing right now to do is say VAR is rubbish. VAR doesn't know what it's doing. VAR is terrible in all that aspect. I disagree with that. I think VAR got that decision spot on. I believe Romero deserved the red. I believe that was a penalty. And that changed the game for me as well. And what I'm going to say now is going to be very, very honest. Palmer's penalty was lucky. Vicario saved it. But Palmer's got a lot of guts. Taking 3 penalties in a span of 5 weeks makes it very difficult to take penalties, because all of a sudden, keepers have more data on you. So the thing is, if Palmer's going to become a regular penalty taker, he needs to work up his little pressure. And that was a sweet penalty in the sense that it was a little bit in the corner, but Vicario could have saved it. I don't care, it made it 1-1. And then I'm going to call it the Raheem Sterling and Reece James show, because I think they really stepped up. They were very good on the ball, and James had one beautiful outside of the foot pass. I think it was for Sterling's goal. Then he had a few passes where on the overlap, he's crossing it across goal, and no one's making the runs. Raheem Sterling was the one that understood what kind of high line he's playing against. The runs he was making were beautiful. He set up Jackson for his first goal offside. The Nicholas Jackson show started, because Nicholas Jackson got himself a hat-trick today. And I don't know if he had a good game or a bad game, but I'm going to put him in the good. The first goal, it was Sterling unselfishly cut it back to him. The second goal, it was Gallagher unselfishly cut it back to him. Beautiful finish. And then the third goal was a very well taken goal again. But I don't know if he meant it, because he stumbled and then he literally got the keeper off balance, went around him, slapped it in, and he gets a hat-trick for himself on Spurs' head top. Now all of a sudden, this performance is written into the headlines for all history. Nicholas Jackson's first hat-trick against Spurs in the London derby. Do you understand what kind of folklore he's written himself into? And what I need to say is about Nicholas Jackson. Nico is not ready to lead the Chelsea line. Don't let this hat-trick fool you. This player is not Chelsea quality at the moment. This player could develop into a very good player. This player could become a great player. This is not Chelsea caliber. We need to get a striker in January. Nico, thank you for the hat-trick. Enjoy tonight, because these are the moments you play football for. At the end, could have had a fourth. Mudryk gave him the ball, skied it. And I was like, that just epitomizes the player. However, very good performance. Gallagher and Enzo. I need to give a lovely mention to both of those two. And the reason I need to give a mention to those two, not for their footballing performance, because I think Gallagher was good, by the way. Enzo, horrible. We'll talk about him later. There was a moment where I thought, oh my God, they're going to lose their heads. It was a little altercation between Colwell, Emerson, I think, or no, perhaps Sarr. And Emerson de-escalated the situation. But Colwell was going mad. I was like, don't put your hands around his throat. Don't do nothing silly. And you know what? Enzo, Gallagher grabbed him, moved him out of the situation. First it was Gallagher, de-escalated the situation. And then you have Enzo hug him. Enzo was holding on to him like, bruv, nothing is happening. Parceiro, move, brother. Vamos. We go. We are leaving. He told him this is not going to be the situation where you're getting yourself sent off. And it was honestly really annoying to see what Chelsea were doing, because they were almost trying to stoop down to Tottenham's level of aggression. Udogie should have been sent off, and we're going to talk about that right now, actually. Now the bad. And the bad is kind of full, okay? So I'm going to have to break it down into 3 segments and then the ugly. But the reality is, the bad is annoying, and the reason it's annoying is because VAR was good this game. I think a lot of people are going to complain that it took too long. We got the right decision. 2 of them weren't the right decisions. Number 1. I think Udogie's 2-footed challenge, big man, he almost broke his foot. Like, if he lands on Sterling's foot there and Sterling's planted, broken. But the reality is, they didn't want to give that red card. They didn't even give a yellow. They reviewed it, and it was one of those things you can't give a yellow in retrospectively. I get it. But I think for me, that's a red card. For me, that is out of control. That is extremely crazy. And I'm not going to come here and say if we lost, oh my God, it should have been a red card, that's why we lost. No, it's got nothing to do with that. But I just think if we're going to have consistency, if you're going to tell me Gusto's challenge the other day was a red, I'm going to have to accept it. This is a red. That's my personal opinion. Then the Romero one. They didn't give Romero a red card for the first one where he kicked out a Colwell. I think Colwell oversold it. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think the intent was there, but the flick out was David Beckham Simeone. It was very similar. And I thought that one was harsh when I watched the documentary, and I think this one would have been harsh to give a red. But Romero was on a fine line. He got exactly what he deserved. Then we need to talk about Enzo Fernandez's performance. He's not ready to be playing for Chelsea Football Club. He's injured still. I am telling you right now, that player was not fit. If he was fit, that's not the type of performance we get from Enzo. Enzo was overrun. Enzo was taking time on the ball that he did not have. He was taking loose touches. He was being very lazy, and he was being a Conor Gallagher in the double pivot. And you know, if anyone watches this, my criticism of Conor Gallagher on the ball. Enzo was just as bad today, and I'm going to call him out. I don't care if Enzo is one of my favorite players. I am nothing but fair on this channel. If I see it with my eyes, my glaza, my los ojos, I will call it out. Enzo was poor today. Whether it was his passing, whether it was his tackling, whether it was his laziness when we were up against 10 men, his lack of effort to run back. I saw it. I don't know whether it's because Romero injured him. I didn't like the performance. No excuse. Then we need to get on to Nico Jackson. I don't know what the hell Nico Jackson does, but he's effective. He can get you 3 goals, but at the same time have a bad performance. His runs are too straight. No runs that are arched. And they don't look for him anymore. I've actually noticed that. They've given up on looking at him. And for me, it's like, this is a problem. Because I was asking myself, now he's got 5 goals in like 10 Premier League games, and all of a sudden his ratio looks unbelievable. It's like 1 and 2. But the real question here is, and this is what I'm going to say, if Broja had this chance, do you think Broja would have been as bad? That's what I was asking myself during the game. We're watching a game and I'm thinking, this kid's not ready. And we're doing damage by playing him. But we've got no other choice. So he's going to have to play through the pain. He's going to have to grow on the job. And I feel so sorry for him. I really do, because I actually like the guy. Like, the person through interview, the individual on the pitch, the way he holds himself, the way he's pointing at his badge, the little things. He is a Chelsea player, but the performances are not Chelsea caliber. And that's annoying. But we got 3 points, the ugly. And the ugly is, number one, I think we really play to the emotion as Chelsea Football Club. What some would say that the moment when Udogie made that challenge, game was gone, right? CD's got dashed out the car. Reality is CD's got dashed out the car, everyone's angry, and people are getting out to fight. And you could see Chelsea were playing up to. Reece James's elbow on another day, that's a red card. You're the captain. Big man, you can't be doing that, because the reality is you're the captain, you're the leader. You could have got us back to 10-10, and we didn't need that. We really did not need that, because this is a very good Spurs team. Give them all the credit they deserve. Colwell, he's young, he got hooked, well done. But I am very, very disappointed about the control in this second half. And that's my second ugly, and we're going to talk about that. When you're playing against 9 men, the fact that Bentancur had a chance, Dyer scored a goal, and Son had a chance, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. Bentancur should have scored his chance. Son, yeah, that's one of those you can give away. I'll allow it. Dyer's one, lucky that it hit someone else's head and went back. That performance from Chelsea in the second half against 9 men, 4-1, does not paint a paints a beautiful picture, but is not the real truth. And the reality is, Chelsea were lucky today, Chelsea were fairly fortunate, and we don't care. And that's the truth, I don't care. I'll take that every week. The way we've played well this year and dropped points, I don't care. And that's the reality today. Guys, this was the Kavkas View. I hope you all enjoyed the review. There is a lot to enjoy. I'm going to make a review for TikTok as well. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts, because I am over the moon. Mwah. Thank you very much, Chelsea. You did not ruin my weekend or the start of my week. I absolutely love you. Pochettino is here to stay, and I hope every single one of you who've been talking nonsense on his name recently eat these words and enjoy that victory, because we all know we love Chelsea. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here. Ha ha.